everyone, Angie Blom here for another episode of UnityTV. This past week, last Thursday actually, we had the Ippity release. These are all new stamps that were made by me, and some of the sentiments are by Jocelyn. And I'm going to show you how to do that little wood piece that I had made from Bloom and Simplify, this set here. But we're going to do it with the heart from Let Your Heart Take Flight. So this is what it's going to look like. It's a beautiful little piece with a little bit of glimmer on it from some glitter glue. So here we have it, the two sets, the two Ippity sets. Let's go do our wood pieces. We'll see in a little bit. We're going to need a piece of wood. This is 4x4, and this one's a cedar block, but if you've got anything at home that your husband or you can cut down to size, this is the perfect size. So all I did to this was paint it black, so any ordinary black acrylic paint. So that's all you're going to need for that. So once you've got that all painted, you are going to grab your stamp image. Now this is not going to fit the whole entire block, so I just really want half of it. So I'll get a little bit of the one wing, but the majority of the other. And you're going to ink that up with your Versamark stamp pad. So this Versamark is for embossing. So what we're going to do is we're going to emboss it with some white embossing powder. So give it a good ink. And then what you're going to do is you're going to give it a really good stamp. Really let that Versamark sink in. So just hold it for a little bit and then lift up, and then you will be able to see, I'm not sure, you could see the image. It's a little shiny there. That's what you want. So I am also going to do a sentiment from the same line. It's called You Fill My Heart. So we're just going to put that on our block, and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to nicely ink that up with the Versamark. So now what I'm going to do is get some white embossing powder. So I've got my white embossing powder, and I'm just going to take, and we'll just see everything come through on the block. And then you're just going to tap it. Okay, and what you could do, that's it there. What you could do is just brush off little parts that you don't want. So I'm just going to take a paintbrush and just kind of like brush off some of those white embossing dots, because it does get into the wood, right? So I'm going to go and heat emboss this, and I'll be right back. And that's what it looks like, nice and clear. Now what I want to do is I'm going to actually take this one wing and move it over to the side. So this way, just try to line it up. And this way it looks like it's coming right over on the one side there. Okay, so there we have it, and we have our wing continued on the side there. So you could leave it like this if you want to, if you have like a black and white theme going on in your house, or you just want it very simple, or for a male companion. You can always just leave it like that, because you know, we know they like everything black and white. So, but what I'm going to do with this is I am going to paint it, and then we're going to use some Faber Castell Pitt pens to fill in the white paint that we're going to use. Now once I do it with white and put the color on, once you rub it off, you're still going to get the embossing on it. So I'm going to grab my white paint. And then we're just going to dry this, and then I'm going to take a tissue and just give it a little rub. We'll be back just in a minute. Now that's dry. Touch it, there's nothing coming off. I'm just going to go in with my tissue paper and just give it a little rub just to make sure I've got my embossing bits still happening there. This way you'll be able to see it. Now, we can put that aside and we can go in with our Faber Castell. Now, we're going to do like a pinkish red heart. So I want to go in, and because you've put the white down, the color is going to be a little richer. And with your paintbrush, just take a little bit of water and you can start blending those colors in. You'll be able to see the embossed part start coming out. If you look really closely, you can start seeing the parts that I had embossed. They're starting to come out in the white. So that's always what you want to see. And I'm just going lightly with my Pitt pens, and you could probably do this with watercolors as well. So, and then I'm going to go in with my red. And there you have your heart. So now I'm going to go in with some yellow to do the wings. Just add a little bit more yellow. And then I think I'm going to go in with just a little bit of red to accent it. Tiny bit, and then go back in with your paintbrush and just bring it through. You're gonna get that little bit of orange on the wing. I mean, play with your colors. This is the great thing about this, is that you could just play around with your colors and just keep on blending. Okay. And there we have our little heart. So now we're just going to make sure this is nice and dry. So I'm just going to go in and dry it with my heat gun again. So there we have our heart, right? And I think it just needs a little bit of something. I'm going to go in and kind of like just get some of this white just with your tissue paper, and it's dry, it's not wet. And I'm just going to pull in that embossing that we did. I think you might even want to try it with a cloth. Here's just a cloth, and that might be a little better. This way you don't get the shavings from the paper towel. So you still get to see that white embossing that's coming out. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go in with, I want something for the middle of the heart. So from the set, Bloom and Simplify, there is a really nice small font saying on there, a little verse on there, that go in with some black ink. and randomly stamp. I don't want to do the whole image. I just want it for the insides. So then I'm just going to lightly just press into that heart, and then just have those words come out there. I think it looks really nice just to add a little bit something to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover the whole entire thing with some decoupage. So let's go in. Here I've got some Helmar decoupage, and I'm just going to, okay, so I can go in, give it all, seal it all in. Okay, so there we have it, and it's all finished drying. So I was thinking what I'd like to do is just go around the ends with some white paint, just kind of soften the black a little. And then I'm just going to take some vintage photo distress ink and just one of my foam sponges, and I don't want it completely white, so I'm just going to get that, and I could do it over my whole entire project just to give it that antique finish to it. So there I have it over everything, and then once you put that on, I can take my cloth and still go over my embossing just to bring that white back out of the letter so it's not as dark. So there we have what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to take some, I just want it to have a little bit of sparkle on the wings, so I'm just going to take some of the glitter glue, and I'm just going to just randomly place some on the sides. Make sure you do your sides as well. And then with my paintbrush, I am going to just spread this around. I love clear glitter because it basically, I mean, you put it over any color and it will pick up those colors. So I tend to use that more than I do the colored ones. And then you're just going to let that dry, and then when you go, it's just going to have that little bit of shimmer to it. So that is the project, and I can go to the back and put some felt on the back, this way it's not so rough, and you just hot glue gun that into place. But there you have a beautiful little wood piece. You could put it on your bookcase, or you can actually use it as a weight for papers, or display it anywhere in your home. It's just a cute little size. So I hope you guys give this a try. It's a fun thing to do with all those scraps of wood we have laying around in the garage. Get your husband or your son or your boyfriend to cut it up, or you cut it up yourself, and make something fun with it. We'll see you for another episode of Unity TV. Thanks for coming by.